on behalf of our host, Chief Bikram Chawla, Toronto Paramedic Services, I want to welcome everyone here to the Toronto Emergency Services headquarters for the 2023 Tri-Services Telecommunicator Awards ceremony. My name is Kevin Frankish, and I have the very distinct honor of being your Master of Ceremonies here this morning as we recognize the women and men who serve our community as 911 emergency telecommunicators. And we're very pleased to be here today, our first ceremony post-COVID. As we begin our ceremony, I wish to acknowledge the land that we are meeting here on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. It's now home to many diverse First Nations, the Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. It's also my pleasure now to introduce the leadership of Toronto's emergency services. To my left in the first row, we have Assistant Deputy Minister Susan Piccirillo, Ontario Ministry of Health Emergency Services, Health Services Branch. Our host, Chief Bikram Chawla, Toronto Paramedic Services. Chief Myron Demkiw, Toronto Police Services. Chief Matthew Pegg, Toronto Fire Services. Deputy Chief Michael Weinzick, Toronto Paramedic Services Communications. Staff Superintendent Shannon Dawson, Toronto Police Services. And Deputy Chief Paul Fitzgerald, Toronto Fire Services Communications, Technology and Organizational Performance. Wow. How big's your business card? To my right, from Toronto Police Service Superintendent Justin Vanderheyden. Communications Assistant Manager Monica DeTolo. And Communications Assistant Manager Tamara Nalon. Deputy Chief Larry Coco and Division Chief Janice Kouris. And we have Toronto Paramedic Service Representative Superintendent Elaschuk, Commander Braden Hamilton Smith, Commander Kim O'Donnell, Deputy Chief Leo Tsang, and Deputy Braden Hamilton Smith. There's also some very special and honored guests here, perhaps the most important next to our recipients, and that is those who have been invited by our recipients, the family, the friends, the loved ones. Who are they? Who are the plus ones? Can you stand, please? If you're able to, that's fine. I just wanted to give you a special welcome because you are the support, you are the ones who encouraged our telecommunicators to become what they are and to instill in them the values that are so necessary. But more importantly, the fact you're here means you're still here. And it's so important for our telecommunicators that they have that support, because they have bad days, they have good days. And you are what helps keep them going. So thank you and welcome. We are here today to commend a group of Toronto's emergency services telecommunicators who are truly the first responder, answering hundreds of 911 calls for help every day of the year, regardless of the time. 911 telecommunicators are there for you and me, acting as the first point of contact for anyone facing violence, fires, medical emergencies, and so much more. These first responders answer 911 calls. They dispatch calls with accuracy and expediency to ensure that critical help arrives to assist those in need and to ensure that the responding police officers, firefighters, and paramedics are also safe with the most up-to-date information as they respond to the scene of an incident. In recognition of the importance of this week, the City of Toronto has proclaimed April 10th through the 15th as Emergency Telecommunicators Week in Toronto. And the proclamation, if you want to get a picture of it later on, is out front. Whereas the City of Toronto's emergency telecommunicators are the first line of first responders whose constant vigilance and preparedness ensure residents receive the help they need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. With hundreds of thousands of emergency calls received each year, the skill and compassionate actions of Toronto's paramedic, police, and fire services, 911 call takers, dispatchers, and communications professionals make a vital difference for those seeking emergency assistance. As the City of Toronto enjoys the highest standard of emergency care from our 911 emergency telecommunicators, we owe these individuals our sincere application and recognition for their dedicated service. Now, therefore, I, Mayor, named to be put in later, on behalf of the Toronto, on behalf of Deputy Mayor Jennifer McKelvey, on behalf of Toronto City Council, do hereby proclaim April 9th through 15th, 2023 as 911 Telecommunicators Week in the City of Toronto. Now, if you want to take your own photographs, by the way, please, by all means, please come forward. We'll wait for you, no worries at all. So it's time now to present our awards this morning. It is important to note that recipients from each service have been nominated by their respective service peers. The recognitions range from the recipient performing in an exemplary manner during a specific incident, a group of telecommunicators handling a major incident as a team, to the professionalism of their leadership in serving the community and mentoring their peers. Each of our recipients, like their peers on the job, are knowledgeable, compassionate, and professional individuals who support their immediate colleagues and those on the road that they guide to each incident. Our first presentation is the Toronto Police Communications Operator of the Year. I'd ask Chief Dempke and Deputy Chief Pogue to please come forward.
That would be the one. Thank you very much, sir. All right. Good morning, everyone. It is Telecommunicator Awards and the importance of the voice you hear, but I got to comment on the impact of your voice. Haven't heard that voice in a long time, and it's incredibly soothing, by the way. So, listen, thank you. It's my pleasure to be here this morning to recognize these exceptional members of Toronto Police, Toronto Fire, and Paramedic Services. As Toronto's Police Chief, I want to express my immense gratitude and appreciation for your work. This work exemplifies the best qualities of all of our organizations. Millions of people call us for help each year because they know you will answer. When you take a call, you don't know the situation that is awaiting you on the other end. Making quick, accurate, and critical decisions under stressful conditions is essential to helping those in need. You are the vital link to police officers and other first responders in the field. When Megan took the call in August 2022 to dispatch an event involving intimate partner violence, she likely didn't foresee that it would conclude with the arrest of 2 suspects and the recovery of 2 firearms. I think it's important to add some context about the complexity of the call. Megan dispatched police officers to attend to a victim, engaged the K-9 unit to search for the suspect, provided key updates to multiple police units and divisions, all while communicating with 2 neighboring police services during a lengthy pursuit. At the same time, Megan ensured that the important information was not only communicated, but that it was organized, understandable, actionable by officers, and that supervisory staff maintained situational awareness during the event. Not to mention that Megan maintained composure throughout this stressful call. Megan, you did an outstanding job during this critical situation. This was a complex event that required a high level of skill and teamwork. You, Megan, are the reason why Toronto is one of the best and safest cities in the world. Your steadfast commitment to teamwork helps to build trust and strengthen our relationships with the communities we serve. And it sets a shining example for every member of the Toronto Police Service. The recognition you're receiving today is very well deserved. On behalf of the Toronto Police Service, as the Chief and a lifelong resident of this city, I would like to say congratulations to you, your family, and thank you for all you do each and every day. Thank you very much.
At this time, could you please take a look at the monitors for a video presentation about our recipient?
Hi, my name is Megan Clicchio. I'm a communications operator with the Toronto Police Service. I have been here for 8 years. I started this job in 2015. This job can be very difficult. We deal with high stress, crazy calls every day with people screaming and yelling, not giving us information. But I started this job to help people, and that's what I like to do. I've never thought I would be in a career where I would truly love coming into work every day, and that's what I get to do. We are the first point of contact between the public and the Toronto Police Service. We start as the communications operator on the phones taking the call, and then it gets sent to the dispatcher. The dispatcher provides that information to the police officers on the road, and we all work as a team to get the job done. In August of 2022, I was assigned dispatching for 43 Division, and I got a call. It's what's called a hot shot here, which is our highest priority call, involving a man in a stolen vehicle armed with a firearm. It ended up being like a Hollywood movie, a police chase with a helicopter, K9, multiple divisions, multiple officers to coordinate between Toronto Police Service and Durham Police, as well as OPP when the call went on to the 401. We don't have a helicopter in Toronto, so we had to borrow Durham's helicopter, and I was dispatching Durham's helicopter. But part of my job is to not do things on my own. So I had a team behind me, I had my supervisor with me, and I had my coworkers helping me to coordinate those efforts. But at the same time as having these calls, I had other calls for service in my division that I was responsible for. And so I was dispatching other calls while dealing with this high stress, intense police pursuit. I had to broadcast repeatedly to make sure everyone was safe, knowing that he was armed with a firearm, and broadcast his description and his last location given to us by the helicopter. But everybody got home safely, and that's my number one goal, is to make sure that everyone gets home safe. So because of this call, I did win Communicator of the Year for 2022, but I don't think it comes down to just me. I think my entire platoon could win this award. We show up every day making sure that everybody is safe, helping the citizens of Toronto. I love my job. I love coming in every day, making a difference and helping people. It's an intense job, but you do get to make a difference, and you get to help the citizens of Toronto every single day, every single hour.
Megan has been a valued member of Toronto Police Service Communications since 2015. During her career as a communications operator, Megan has been no stranger to dynamic and high-stress events. As amazing as Megan is at her job, if you ask her, she'll tell you any success during big events is not thanks to one person, but to her entire team of coworkers, supervisors, officers on the road, and other emergency services, and you heard her say that in the video. As much as she credits her team, when push comes to shove, Megan has shown over and over again that she thrives during fast-paced, stressful events, making calm and controlled look easy. It was one such event that Megan dealt with that really defined her as the Communicator of the Year for 2022. In August, Megan was working a night shift, assigned to dispatch duties in Scarborough. During her shift, Megan dispatched an incident involving intimate partner violence. She promptly directed police officers to respond to see the victim. However, upon arrival, the suspect had already left the scene. Megan quickly engaged a canine unit to search the area. While attempts to locate the suspect were unsuccessful, a firearm was recovered during the search of the area. Shortly afterwards, information was received that the suspect was observed by another police service to be heading back into Toronto. Megan immediately updated her police units in the area. It was at this time that Megan had to engage not only her Toronto police resources, but she also liaised with 2 neighboring police services in the GTA. After a lengthy pursuit that traveled through 2 other police jurisdictions, as well as involving multiple Toronto police divisions, officers were able to arrest 2 suspects and recover 2 firearms. I still have about 4 or 5 more pages to go, so just stand there and have everybody stare at you. With Megan's quick thinking and calm control, she was able to not only ensure key updates and communication were shared with all police services and officers involved, but also ensured that critical information was organized, made sense, and could be actioned by officers while supervisory staff maintained situational awareness for the duration of the incident. CO Megan Colicchio, and I hope I said that correctly, Colicchio has been selected as Communicator of the Year for 2022. I am pleased to ask Megan Colicchio to come forward. Oh, wait a minute. Thank you, by the way, very much, Chief and Deputy Chief. Our next presentation is for the Toronto Fire Services Telecommunicator of the Year. I would ask Chief Pegg and Deputy Chief Fitzgerald to please come forward.
So at the risk of riding the coattails of my friend Chief Demkew, there are few voices in this city that are more synonymous with the professional media environment than the one that we're listening to here today. And Myron and I were actually talking upstairs earlier that we don't even need to see Kevin's face. All they need to do is hear his voice and we know exactly who it is. So Mr. Frankish, we're honored to have you, sir. Thank you not only for being here, but for, I think it's fair to say thank you to you and to all of your professional media colleagues. You do a tough job, and you tell the story of this city in a way that none of us could. So we're honored to have you here. Good morning, everyone. It is my sincere privilege to join you this morning to acknowledge and celebrate the extraordinary achievements of our communications professionals. It is fitting that today's ceremony is being held during National Public Safety Communicators Week. Each and every day, our communications professionals serve on the very front lines of emergency response in Toronto. Last year alone, Toronto Fire Services responded to more than 168,000 emergency incidents across our city. There is one common element in every one of these emergency incidents. The very first point of contact our residents have with Toronto Fire Service during their time of need is the voice of one of our calm and professional emergency call taking and dispatch team members. In 2022, our Toronto Fire Services Communications Division completed more than 622,000 incoming and outgoing phone calls in the performance of their duties. That translates to an average of more than 1,700 telephone-based contacts with the people that we serve every single day. This is incredibly demanding and stressful work that requires an extraordinary amount of training, skill, dedication, and compassion to perform. Last year, this team of professionals received, processed, and dispatched emergency response crews to these incidents in less than 60 seconds, more than 90% of the time. This represents truly world-class service delivery, and I am so proud of the amazing service that is provided 24 hours every day. This year, the Toronto Fire Services Communicator of the Year Award is being presented to Platoon 1. Platoon 1 was on duty on May 1st, 2022, when a series of intense and rapidly moving thunderstorms passed through our city in the afternoon hours. Between 1 and 4 o'clock that afternoon, Platoon 1 processed more than 500 different emergency incidents with skill and precision. These 500 incidents produced more than 1,500 incoming 911 and other emergency phone calls, in addition to the various other incoming calls that happen every day. Not only did Platoon 1 manage this daunting call volume, but many members of this team also remained on duty in support of the incoming night shift to ensure that the demands continued to be met. This represents the single busiest day in communications since the ice storm of 2013. Emergency call takers and dispatchers are vital members of our incident command teams, with dispatchers being directly connected with our responding crews, our incident commanders, and our police and paramedic colleagues in live time. Without the expertise and dedication of these professionals, our firefighters would not arrive on the scene of emergencies, and our incident commanders would not have access to the resources, support, and tools they require to protect both public and firefighter safety. The delivery of world-class fire protection services, especially in a city as complex and dynamic as Toronto, requires world-class emergency call-taking and dispatch services. We are blessed and privileged to work alongside these amazing professionals, and it is my sincere honor and privilege to publicly recognize and thank them all here today. I would also like to extend my thanks to both our Toronto Paramedic Services and Toronto Police Service communications colleagues, whom we serve alongside each day as well. On behalf of our entire Toronto Fire Services command team, our communications leadership team, and our Toronto Professional Firefighters Association colleagues, congratulations to each of today's Emergency Telecommunicator of the Year award recipients. Thank you for your never-ending commitment to courage, compassion, and service, and happy National Public Safety Communicators Week, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Meg. And just so you guys know how important you are, it's not often we get the leaders of the three families together. So this is a big deal. Please watch the video monitor.
Hi, my name is Adrian Whiteman. I'm the District Chief of Communications Platoon 1, Toronto Fire Service. I've been a Toronto Fire Communicator for 21 and a half years, approximately, and I'm here to talk today about the Communicator of the Year award that my platoon has won for our actions on the 21st of May of 2022. I think first of all that it's kind of humbling to win an award like this, because you wonder as soon as you hear about it why it was you that was selected. It was hardly the only major emergency event that we had in 2022. Any number of days, any number of platoons could have won this award, any of them pretty much. We've always had a good core of people. They're professional, they're solid. They do their jobs despite the situation that it's presented to them, and quite frankly, it's what we do every day. And I think that's why most of us keep coming in, is the ability to provide service to our communities and to other members of the emergency services community. As I remember it, the 21st of May started out like almost any other day. Weather wasn't particularly bad when we came in. It was a spring day, and we found out about halfway through the morning that we were going to get a thunderstorm. Thunderstorms are hectic times. There's a lot of calls that come in, a lot of just minor damage here and there that people call us about, a lot of wires down, be they actually dangerous hydro wires or be they just cable TV or something like that. But we get a lot of those calls, and it's just a matter of prioritizing them and keeping the trucks moving, going from call to call, and making sure that we go to the more dangerous threats to the public first. But on the 21st, it became clear in the middle of that event just how severe it was, not just through the call volume, but because of the severity of it. We're getting quite a few trees down.
Toronto Fires implemented severe weather protocols. They've received over 100 calls and incidents related to these outages with power lines down. Pretty much everybody across the GTA's felt the wrath of this fast-moving storm.
And at the same time, it wasn't just a matter of damage from the storm. We had a couple of rescues who had to perform on the lake. There were, I think one of them was a kite boarder that had gotten blown pretty far off course, and the second was some people in a small boat that needed rescuing as well. And so, I mean, it being May, end of May, we did have some people out enjoying the water and all that, and they had to be helped as well. So it was a large variety of different types of calls that we had at the same time, and it really showed the flexibility of the crew that we had on duty that day, because they were able to recognize the different challenges that occur in the different types of calls, and they were able to respond to all of them. We like to say that the police handle crime situations, and ambulance handles medical situations, and pretty much anything else is a fire department situation. So whether it's a rescue, whether somebody's reporting damage to public property, they think there's a hazardous situation with a tree in this case, for example, that's fallen on some wires, or there's a sign that's blown halfway off a building and it's dangling, they think could be a threat to the public, pretty much all of those different things. So as a fire department dispatcher, it's important to maintain that kind of flexibility, and also to recognize that there are different levels of severity. And in a case where we actually have many more calls and we actually have apparatus to respond to them, the ability to prioritize and decide that we're definitely going to have to go rescue those people out in the lake, but perhaps we can wait a little while on the trees that's fallen down in somebody's backyard, or the road sign that's been blowing down the street, or whatever it happens to be. So yeah, it was a very good effort by Platoon 1 on that day. But like I said, every platoon in communications in the Toronto Fire Service expresses the same sort of values, the same teamwork, the same kind of ability to respond to pretty much any kind of event that's presented to us. So that's, while we were the ones that won this award this year, I really think it could have gone to anybody. It could have gone for any number of different events and different situations.
In the afternoon of May 21st of last year, we all learned a new weather term, the derecho. I still don't really know what it is. I'd never heard it before. I did weather for many, many years. But we know it was bad, rapidly moving thunderstorms. And it hits me as well that when we talk about climate change and what impact it's going to have on us, it's going to have an impact on 911. There's going to be more intense storms. There's going to be different kinds of storms. And so our telecommunicators have to adapt, and they have to learn, and they have to almost predict the future as to where their resources are best going to be sent. That's exactly what they did on May 21st, 2022. Platoon 1 was on duty at the time. During this extraordinary weather event, Platoon 1 processed over 500 emergency incidents between 1 to 4 p.m. Now, once again, and I'm sure that they will echo this, it takes a team. But here representing Platoon 1, I would ask District Chief Adrian Whiteman to come forward. Thank you, gentlemen. Our final set of presentations are for members of Toronto Paramedic Services. I would ask Chief Chawla, Deputy Chief Weinzig to both come forward, please.
At the risk of getting another bear hug from, wait for it. You know, Kevin has, this is not the first ceremony that Kevin has helped us with. He's helped us with numerous ones over the last few years, and you know, it's so wonderful to be able to gather in person, and for our very first in-person event in so many years, to have Kevin hosting it is just, I couldn't ask for more. Okay, I'm ready now. Anyway, good morning, everyone, and heartfelt welcome to our award recipients, family, emergency services colleagues. Thank you for joining us for this very special ceremony during 911 Telecommunicators Week. We're here to celebrate our outstanding emergency telecommunications professionals who really do, you know, work so hard every single day to keep our city safe, and we could not be more grateful. It's been a pleasure to listen to all of the inspiring stories here today and of our award recipients, and to be reminded of the incredible work of those in our communication centers. Before I go on, I want to take a moment to thank some folks for their work in making this day happen. Thank you, obviously, to our MC, Kevin Frankish. You know, it's an honor, and we appreciate you being here with us this morning. Also, many thanks to the team that worked behind the scenes to put this wonderful event together. From the multimedia components to the setup and the reception that's about to follow, thank you so much for your work. And events like this could not be held successfully without your incredible work. Let's have a hand for them. Thank you also to our honored guests, Assistant Deputy Minister Susan Piccarello, Toronto Fire Chief Matthew Pegg, and Deputy Chief Fitzgerald, Toronto Police Chief Myron Demkew, and Staff Superintendent Dawson. Thank you for joining us here today. And of course, thank you to our friends and family here. We appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be part of this celebration and support these incredible individuals. It's a pleasure to be able to gather here in person, as I said, for the first time in 3 years for this event, and I'm proud to be standing here today to recognize Toronto Paramedic Services Award recipients, Teresa Hansen, Norm Rivera, and Gary Bunn. These telecommunicators embody the values of our service and continually go above and beyond for our 911 callers and for their colleagues. As Call Taker of the Year, Teresa is customer service oriented and always has a positive attitude with her callers. While she possesses an in-depth knowledge of our systems and processes, she is willing to learn and grow. Teresa has diligently served the residents of Toronto for 3 years, efficiently answering their calls for help while simultaneously supporting her peers whom she considers to be extended family. Norm Rivera is our deserving recipient of the Senior Emergency Medical Dispatcher Leadership Award. He is trusted and respected by his peers and consistently creates and fosters a positive work environment. Norm has worked for Toronto Paramedic Services since 2006 and has been recognized for his outstanding service to the community throughout his career as a previous recipient of the Paramedic Services Merit and Communicator of the Year Awards. Finally, our Communications Training Officer Mentor Award recipient, Gary Bunn, has supported his colleagues in both peer and leadership roles throughout his career. His sound decision-making and initiative to create change have helped foster a positive mentorship environment for all. Gary advocates for his patients, peers, and students and demonstrates pride in teaching. I am extremely proud of all of the recipients of this year's Telecommunicator of the Year Awards, whether members of Toronto Police Service, Toronto Fire Services, or Toronto Paramedic Services. These individuals represent the highest level of service from each of our organizations. Their unwavering commitment to Torontonians is unmatched. We've heard it many times today, emergency telecommunicators are the most important people that you'll never see. They are the first responders and the calm voices at the other end of every 911 call. Whether it's dispatching officers to a dangerous domestic, coordinating resources across jurisdictions, sending firefighters to a multi-alarm fire, providing life-saving CPR or naloxone instructions over the phone, or helping deliver a baby. These are all events that many of us could not fathom assisting with. And yet, here they are doing their day-to-day normal work in one of the city's emergency services communication centers. These unsung headset heroes, as we like to call them, answer call after call, often never knowing the outcome of the situations that they provide care for or that they support. There are good days and there are incredibly challenging days, as we've heard. And no matter what, these individuals continue to show up every single shift, ready to help those who need it most and in their greatest time of need. This week is 911 Telecommunicators Week in the City of Toronto. We are elated to be able to not only celebrate our award winners, but each of the incredible staff members working in and supporting our city's emergency services communication centers, including our dispatchers, call takers, communications operators, support, and leadership staff. We are grateful for their commitment to our city and thank each of you, thanking them for the work that they do both throughout this week and every single week out of the year, 24/7, 365. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chief. The first Toronto Paramedic Services presentation is for the Call Taker of the Year, which is awarded to the call taker who consistently demonstrates a positive attitude towards callers and to their peers. Exhibiting a high degree of customer-oriented service, the recipient consistently demonstrates an advanced working knowledge of the Central Ambulance Control Center's communication systems and processes, all the while demonstrating a willingness to learn and grow in their profession. The 2023 Call Taker of the Year is Teresa Hansen. Our next presentation is for the Senior Emergency Medical Dispatcher of the Year, who consistently demonstrates advanced leadership skills while creating and fostering a positive work environment. Will you please observe the monitor?
My name is Norman Rivera. I'm a senior emergency medical dispatcher. I've worked with the Toronto Public Service for 22 years. My main responsibilities are to communicate and liaise with the EMDs, the SCS, and the Deputy Commander, but ultimately to provide support and leadership to the EMDs. This year, I was awarded the Senior EMD Leadership Award. It is a peer-nominated award. Quite humbled and flattered that I was nominated and recognized by my peers. Can't really take full credit for it. Being a senior EMD, we attempt to provide mentorship and leadership to our peers. Working in this team environment, it is a team effort, and being a mentor as a senior EMD has fostered that particular leadership award. So thank you very much.
I would like to ask now Senior Emergency Medical Dispatcher Norman Rivera to please come forward. What about the lady? Come on up. Do you know these people? Is this your daughter? Yes. What's her name? Ayla. Ayla. Hi, Ayla. Do you know how important your daddy is? Yeah. Congratulations, Norm and Ayla. Our final presentation is the Communications Training Officer Mentorship Award. This is awarded to the CTO who consistently creates a positive environment for the mentorship of staff, who is an advocate for patients, their peers, and students alike. This recipient demonstrates an advanced working knowledge of the communication systems and processes within the CACC, and they are known for their initiative and pride in teaching. Once again, please observe the monitors.
Hi, I'm Gary. I'm a communication training officer for Toronto Paramedic Services. I've been with Toronto Paramedic Services for 6.5 years. I've been a trainer for 3 of those years. I originally joined the service looking for a job that I could leave at the end of my day feeling like I've helped people, something I hadn't had in the past, and this job has been perfect for that. I get to also help train the future dispatchers and call takers for Toronto Paramedic Services that are coming through the ranks. For 2023, I was awarded the CTO Mentor of the Year. The award does mean a lot to me. I was nominated by a group of my peers, and it reflects the hard work and effort that my students have put in this year, and it really reflects in the work that they do every day. This year I'm looking forward to the new group of trainees that are coming through. We have approximately 60 new recruits coming in. I'm looking forward to working with them to help them be successful in the new career they've chosen. I just want to let all the new recruits know that it is a hard job, that we deal with people on their most difficult times, but the group in here works together. Everyone is made to feel comfortable and welcomed and leaves happy by the end of their day. Lastly, I just wanted to thank all those that nominated me for this award. I'm very honored to have won, so thank you very much.
I would ask Communications Training Officer Gary Bunn to please come forward. Thank you. Thank you to the friends, colleagues, and loved ones for joining us here this afternoon to celebrate and recognize the achievements of our recipients. Congratulations to all of our recipients who represent a much larger team. And if I could, just for a quick moment, just call to mind something that happened just a little more than 24 hours ago when emergency calls started coming in to the Louisville Metro Police 911 Dispatch Center for someone armed with a weapon, shots fired in a bank. The end result, 5 people dead, several injured, including a police officer. It was his first day on the job. And while our thoughts and our prayers go out to the victims and their families, I always think about those who are in the various communication centers, who want to be there, who hear this going on, who hear officer down, but they can't be there. But they were already there first. And I would just like us just to take a moment to think of not just the victims and their families, but also for the communicators, the telecommunicators in Louisville. I would ask now that everyone please stand for the performance of the National Anthem by Toronto Paramedic Services Superintendent Melissa Ilaschuk.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Please be seated. My final words this morning are for our 911 telecommunicators. I have a question. How the hell do you do it? How do you sit there and someone's calling you and they're holding a loved one in their arms and they reach out to you? I would break down and cry. I'd jump in my car and get there. But you have a job to do and you know that. And thank God for you. And I know it can be so frustrating to sit there and wait for an update and dispatch the proper resources and hope that you're doing the right thing, sending the right crews, responding the right way, while at the same time answering a call from someone who's mad because McDonald's didn't put an extra hash brown in their meal. It happens. The interesting thing and the thing we need to remember about 911 telecommunicators is that when there's been a significant incident, police, fire, and paramedics usually have a bit of downtime afterwards to decompress, to debrief, to write up reports, to conduct an investigation, to clean up hotspots, but there's a time to take a breath. 911 telecommunicators most often just answer the next call. And that had to push all that to the back of their mind. And that's tough. And so my message to you is watch out for each other. Be there for each other. Because we don't see it. You may come, you're professionals. Big deal. They answered 400 calls on that shooting. Big deal. But it is a big deal. And you've got to watch out for yourselves and take care of each other. And don't be afraid yourself to ask for help. And sometimes don't wait for someone to ask for help, because they might not. So please be there for each other, and thank you for being there. Everyone, on behalf of Chief Chawla, Chief Peg, and Chief Demke, I invite you to join us for some light refreshments in the classrooms to my right. And I'd ask everyone, the audience members, to remain in your seats so that all the recipients, chiefs, and presenters can come forward to have a group photo taken here on center stage. So thank you once again for being here this morning. We have other telecommunicators here, right? Yeah, I can tell the look. I know the look. A very casual, formal casual. Could I get you to come up to the stage too, please, and represent all of your colleagues who are also still working in this telecommunicators work, please? Come on. You know what? They're the hardest people to get on camera. They are.